And welcome to Talladega Super Speedway. Drivers here today are doing something a little bit different. It's going to be multi-class racing here. We have trucks, Xfinity, and Next Gen. There is, gotta see which color is matched with which. No Toyotas in the field. Chevys or Fords is what it looks like these guys have chosen. I'm going to pull up the starting grid here. So first is Barry Nelson, second Timothy Yisbrand, fourth or third, and Troy Thomas, fourth Andrew Teth, fifth Terry Fennell, sixth Brett Abreu, seventh Brandon Biddy, eighth Brian LaPratt, ninth Judson Curtis, 10th Pete Polini, 11th Truth Hoke, 12th Steve Sizemore, 13th Frank Chavez, 14th Steve Castle, 15th JB Harrison, 16th or 15th JB Harrison, 16th Aaron Roth, 17th Dwayne Davis. Everybody has gridded right now, so I will pull up kind of I guess just say kind of the tower again. I couldn't think of that. So it should sort them out related to. See if it does it by class. I do it by class here. I think I'm gonna need to show a different one. Hold on. Car number. There is something in here that would let me see. There it is. Is this will show? That's not gonna show yet. Does it show? Hold on. Let's see if they start rolling here and it changes. But I did set it. I have set it to show the different classes. I don't know if it's going to give that though. We're waiting for Jack Kelly to grid. See, there we go. They're going to pull off. So it has, but it hasn't grouped them correctly. Let's see, so is it giving me? That's 2. I don't think I have. I need to set that up. Oh, no, there it is. Okay. So you see how it resets the time right here. It's like Biddy's 0. He's the leader of that class. I wish it would. I really wish I could do that. I'll need to color these eventually, but so when it has a 0 next to their name, they are the leader of their class. And that, but 75 laps here. I don't know how the fuel strategy will play out. I want to see. It's battle box. Not what I want. Trying to look. There's a setting in here somewhere. Or I wish there was. Oh, that sucks. It's not in here. Is it? So I've got it to a certain extent. We'll have to roll with that. I thought it would automatically separate them, but when they reset, whenever you see a 0, that is the leader of that pack. Just so you know that. That is not a mistake. That is completely on purpose. And I did turn down my audio just a little bit because it was getting kind of loud. So I didn't really like that from my end. It was very, very loud on my end, so I'll just boost it up here. It's showing sword. It shows he's sorted on my end, but it doesn't on everybody else's. And I'm sorry about that. I'll see if there's a setting in there that I can change. See, pace car will pull in here. Will be the top 3 or sorry, 1 from each leader group, or not the leader, the class here as the green flag is in the air. We are underway here. guys going around here. I'm going to raise my volume really quickly because that is a lot quieter than what I thought it would be. I'm very sorry about that. I thought I changed my volume to a certain extent. Evidently, I did not. That was just way too quiet. I think I've got it relatively close now. Sorry about me trying to mess with my audio. Mid-race. But as they've got sorted out, I'm kind of curious to see how these different classes will do. I can't really... I don't know off the top of my head, if I'm being completely honest with you, because I don't run these cars enough. I don't really run the Xfinity or the trucks at all, to be honest with you. So I would think that they would maybe be pretty balanced, even though they shouldn't be. The next gen should be smoking them. But knowing how NASCARs mess with the next gen so much, I don't know if they will be. Xfinity cars might be able to hold a pretty decent candle to them. See, Biddy, don't do that. Oh, I almost ended up bad. I think that Curtis thought about it. Curtis wanted to go down there, but I think he realized, hey, it's probably not a good idea to do that. Look at the 90. JB Harrison getting up there in the truck. Making moves to get up front now. He wants to put his name in the ring, and he's actually got up there a little bit. The Xfinity cars are still pretty much together. Next gens, of course, they're running nose to tail. What fuel are they? They are running 100% fuel, so they may be pitting. I think they'll pit once. Be a little bit short on fuel. It's 196 and it's 3. Still running up here up front, nose to tail with each other. Two's gonna swing to the outside. That's Biddy. Biddy's gonna try to break this up a little bit now. These next gens still sticking together. I can't tell what that 92 is a throwback to. That has to be a Kyle Larson, like his first win or something. Unless he's messed up his paint scheme. That is possible. Oh, there they go! The 2 saves it! Biddy able to keep it up under him. What a save. Coming off of 2 here. And that looks like that's netcode between him and the 13. Because Chavez did not touch the 2, but that 2 got extremely, extremely loose. That was nerve-wracking. Nerve-wracking. Let's see how long these guys need to go. Hopefully, kind of making sure that was going the whole way through. Okay, good. So you see the trucks are now making their run as the Xfinity cars have fallen off a little bit. The 2's going to be on his own. But Sizemore's throwing his hat in the ring. He wants to try to make a run and get some movement going here. Oh, there goes Hope round, and he will spin, collects the 90. No caution is out. There, actually, it is. My keyboard just didn't light up. Hello, Razer. You're not working. My keyboard normally lights up when something happens on track. The 90 just comes up to him. I don't think that's malicious. 90 got pretty bad damage. I think Hoke is actually fine from most of that, to be honest with you. Is this launch on? It should. It's odd. Hoke will come immediately to pit road. I believe this should put everybody to be able to... no, they may be able to make it completely. Yeah, I think they will. I think if they come down, they'll be able to make it the whole way. And I'd be pitting here. I wouldn't be staying out at all. It'd just be a bad idea. Kelly is the only one that's going to stay out here. Everybody else looks like they were just fuel. Yeah, just fuel. Hef took 4, might as well. I think they have unlimited tires too. Yeah, unlimited tires. So this shakes up the front a little bit. We'll have truck, next gen truck, and then first Xfinity car going to be the number 10, Brian LaPratt. He's gonna be way back there. See if anybody comes down and tops off. That might not be a bad idea either. You can get probably about 2 more laps of fuel on him if you do that. Some people did. Kelly came down. Hope. Chavez. I think this should get them to the very end, though. I think it should. this is going to be interesting here. It's going to be a little bit, definitely a little bit of a mix. Of course, next gens are running the front row. There's only really one truck to break them up. They haven't really had that much of a difference, though. I thought there would be, you know, a major difference between the two that would be stopping them, but it's really not that big of a difference. The pace car will pull off this time as the lights have gone off. Will be Troy and Barry Nelson leading them to green. As the green flag is back in the air, we are back underway here. Two next gens jump out to a good start. Looks like the 50. The next gens seem to have a little bit of a faster get up and go speed. Let's look up some stats here on. Okay, there's a patch tomorrow. I don't really care about that. See the content. I'm gonna look at the. I'm gonna set the cameras to free roam here. I'm gonna look at the stats of each of them. So the next gen, not next gen, sorry, Xfinity. I think they're running the 450 horsepower at this track. I think. So 450. What are the trucks running? Trucks are 650 plus. So 625 horsepower at super speedways, and the next gen, what are they pushing? They're pushing 550. That's sad. But the trucks, like I said, actually, what in the world happened here? I was so busy looking at that, I don't think anything happened. As I was looking up the stats for the vehicle, so overall horsepower, it should be the trucks. In terms of everything else, I have no idea, because it's just basically toss it up in the air and see what happens. Even though they're supposed to be faster, doesn't mean they always will be. See, looks next gen, all on the bottom. The two trucks on the top are holding their own. I'll give them that. I'm still yet to see them really be able to push it, though. Still just be all around the bottom. Again, I don't know what happened to this group, because I was looking at the other screen trying to figure out what happened. They're trying to look at the horsepower. So, unfortunately, I did miss that. That is my fault. See, these guys are running 51s. The group up here is running 50 flats. Or sorry, not 50 flats. 50 flats. 50, about mid-50s. 51. So that group up front will actually pulling away. And I think that's because they're so side by side with each other. They're not spaced out enough. All going to be jam-packed. If they get spaced out, and they might be able to pick up some time, but I don't think they will. Roof up here. I wonder what their fuel burn is going to be like. So I know that 17 is keeping a full throttle. That one has to keep his foot to the floor. 08. He's not side drafting like I thought he should. He probably should get a little bit closer, to be honest with you. He could really get away with that too if he wants to get down right next to that 92. Side drafting, he'd probably be able to do it. This group back here, though, now they've gotten sorted out. They'll start picking up some time because of that. When they're racing side by side, that's just going to slow them down. Though. They got to keep that in mind. Yellow's next gen, so there's only one next gen 9 in this group, and it's actually leading the back group, which is Teft. He's gonna have to get his way, work his way up there. Troy leading the next gen, leading the race really. And this is not so multi-class. Of course, you're not gonna see this in NASCAR, but. Not NASCAR, yeah, well, yes, NASCAR, sorry. But you'll see this a lot in road courses. Road courses, it can be whatever car you like that's within that class. I tend to drive the Ferrari 293 GT3 whenever I race that, the LMP3s. There's one more. The Porsche, whatever it is. Actually, what do I run on these? Porsche 911 GT3. That's one of them that I run. Ferrari 296. No, Ferrari 296 GT3. And then the Liger is what I run in road. I don't really run that much road, even though I did do a lot of road racing for the Watkins Glen. A lot. But it's not uncommon to see it in road races and other series, as this backpack has came up out of nowhere as I wasn't paying attention to them. I was trying to find the cars that I was racing as they just flew up here. So Teth and these guys have gotten lined up and they are going to the front. They want to get the lead themselves. As there goes a 90 around. Oh, and he's going to take out. Oh, my gosh. That was a hard hit for, I believe that's the 101. Brian LaPratt and Truth Hoke, who had just been involved in a previous wreck, has no hood. So we'll look at the 90 of JB. See what happens here. Yeah, that's on Troy right there. Troy just comes up, taps him in the left rear, and overcorrection. Brian has nowhere to go. Hoke has nowhere to go. And you're probably saying, oh, just stop. Oh, that truck has got some damage too. You're probably saying, oh, well, just stop. Well, it's not as easy, as you think it is. Super speedways, they run smaller brake packages, so they don't stop as fast as they need to. And a lot of the brake is put towards the front, unless you change it during the race and put it towards the back, and putting it towards the front makes it more stable, but it takes longer. That's one thing I do, is I crank my brake bias all the way to the rear. I get as close as I can to almost spinning out, but being safe. So these cars don't stop because of that. They will just keep going. Got to remember, these guys have hit top speed 210. Terry Fennell has hit that. At 210, 192, 189, 191. So these guys are flying around. The people don't really realize that. That's why they can't stop like they need to. I think they'll come down and pit again. Can't hurt. Yeah, that's what I thought they do. This should get them to the end for sure. See, this was mainly mainly fuel. We got some 4 tires here. Most of them are actually 4 tires. I take that back. So we got damage being fixed. Truth doesn't have a hood. I don't think he's going to be able to continue unless he's got a fast repair. Now, if he has a fast repair, he'll have a chance at it. I don't think he does. Nope. So that does break up the field again, though. We got truck, next-gen, truck, next-gen, Xfinity, next-gen, I can't remember which color, yes. Next-gen's yellow. Xfinity, so pink is the trucks, okay. Gotta keep that in mind. So 31st of July, was that a race? No, it wasn't. That's Thursday. Something else. I believe lights have gone off. Yes, they have. So we'll take the green flag this time by. Poke, yeah, I think he's out of it. Kelly's still in it. LaPrat's still in it. Multiple laps down, though, so we'll have to get those laps back. 2 laps down, 3 laps down. So LaPrat will have the lucky dog. He gets back out on track. He'll have to get it twice at least. As what in the world is that? Okay. I just came across... Where is my remote to this? On remote now. I actually want to see how bad this is. Scrolling social media while these guys are under caution, I just came across a Temu listing. Temu for sim wheel, pedals, and shifter. This is going to be absolutely horrible. See, pace car does pull in here. It's the 196 and 57 leading them to green. As the green flag is in the air, we are back underway here. Those next gens definitely seem to have a faster get off, that's for sure. And that would make sense now that I think about it. They do have that bigger wheel. They get a little bit more traction than these other cars in the race. Their trucks, cars, same thing, close enough. As yeah, they go right around. So they definitely seem to have just a lot better get off and just top end speed overall. Here comes that outside line, though, with Tef. So once Tef has been really good with pushes here. Does he go to the outside of 57? Does he decide to shove? He will shoot to the outside instead. He might want to have to deal with Roth right now. He wants to just get around him. Oh, there goes somebody in the wall. That's the 38 of Kelly. I think he may have gotten loose off of 4. Maybe got some help there. Nope, he did not. He just got in the wall. He just put himself straight in the wall, and Troy did a good job avoiding that. It's going to really hurt that 38, though. See that 57 working up in this high line. As here comes Tef with a pretty big run on the outside line. This is 17 looking to the outside. That's Brett Bray. As Tef is going to go up high with him too. See if he can get something going. He's getting a pretty good run here. Off the bumper of Tef. A little bit of contact between the two as Tef will shoot down to the bottom. The 92 overreacts there. That is kind of panicked. I think he thought that car was going to come down into him. Not quite yet, though. The 196 just keeping that bottom line all the way around the track, keeping that one behind him. Wait, though, he maybe able to get a run here if they decide to stay with him. I really want to see what happens if they just stay with each other. I feel like that would work better with some of these cars than others. Like, I think the next gen would probably be better at leading than getting pushed by maybe a truck. Especially since the trucks have a flat nose in the front. They don't have the pointed end like the Xfinity cars do, and the next gens do. It's way more prominent on the Xfinity, I feel like. Guys, we'll continue to swap places out. It's not been a runaway like I thought it would be. They've actually been relatively competitive, running side by side. Because they are 3 wide, so never mind. Throw that out the window. Oh, he's going to just stick to that middle. Tef will actually go up high. He's getting a little bit of a shove here. He's got a next gen and a truck behind him. So when you're at super speedways, really the third car in line is the one that matters the most. If that third car in line can get to the second car and give them an arrow shove, that will pay off for them. But if they don't, and they're just kind of stalled out, as Andrew Taft will go to the lead. Gets a pretty big shove there as he gets ahead. Next gen truck, next gen, and maybe scrap that, but Nelson just got himself hung out to dry, I think. Oh, that's not good for him. He's gonna kick himself for that if he can't get. Yeah, he did. He's gotta tuck back in here the next chance he gets. He will be able to do it though eventually. Able to slot back in. Looks like the 7th in line. Yes, 7th in line for him. Puts him 3rd in the next gens. The leading truck is the 57. He's got the one behind him in his class. But I have to see where that puts him overall at the end. Yeah, I don't think that they'll have to pit anymore. I don't think they will. Running 50s right now, 50s, some 49s, some 51s, 55. That's why. Not by himself. That's just the difference. He's hitting 177. These guys running in the pack are hitting he's running 171. These guys up here are hitting 190s easily. That's how much of a draft difference there is. Now I wonder towards the end if they all don't just gang up on one class and shove them to the back. I would almost think they would, to be honest with you. I would do that. But that's their choice. Looking at the 27 of Dwayne Davis. Oh, that's almost close there. Still don't know what number that is. Who is this 40 or this 92? I can't see the net. Don't do it. You're gonna come down to somebody. That might be. Yeah, that's Jesper. That's who it is. He doesn't have the 1. It's just cut off there on the car. So that's the target car that we're seeing. I do say that would look nice if it was raced today. But, you know, they kind of left the sport. When did Target leave NASCAR? The 2017 season is when they... Yeah, 2017 is when they ended it. I was going to say, I know they haven't raced it in a while. Or haven't seen it in forever. I knew that was Larson's car. It's kind of... I feel like that's honestly kind of the more iconic car with Larson, is it was the Target car. Everybody knew him for that. But hey, that's... Stuff just happens, man. That bottom line has gotten formed up now. They're just going to run a train on the bottom. They are getting close to halfway. Lap 38 will be halfway for them. They're going to be running up on Kelly. Kelly course, he got shucked out early on, so that's why he's so off pace. He needs to find a way back in line, because if he doesn't, he's going to be really, really struggling here for a long time. What we saw happen again before. Looks like once they get broken up, these groups then they separate themselves. There's 4 next gens though in the second group. So I'd almost wonder if they start picking it up here in a minute. See if this group behind them can get caught back up. I wonder if they can. It's gonna take a little bit. They're doing it though. They're running faster times. They ran a 50 compared to a 50.1. I think they've caught them now. So that's odd. Looks like they have the ability to easily catch up. I would not have thought that. That's a little bit weird. Second group though is just odd how they're catching them like that. I just wouldn't think that. And now if they've broken up, now they're going to slow each other down. It's a bad idea. I would have gotten lined up again. Now it's only 5 cars up here. This has got to be a strategic move. I just don't know why they would be doing this. Why would they? I don't know. It's odd. It's just weird to see. They're running 50s, 50.6, 52, but they're catching them again. 13 will be getting, get a pretty good shove there from Barry. We don't see a lot of shoving. 47's leading his class. The 1 is leading his class. Andrew's leading his class. Again, like they wouldn't. I'm surprised we're not just going a lot more, haywire with this, to be honest with you. Xfinity, truck, next gen, Xfinity, and truck. It's odd. I wouldn't think that. Yisprand has left. I didn't see that until now. I just looked over and saw that of course, his time is gone now. It's not on the screen anymore. '98, the 3. Still just being calm with each other. As I said, there's calmness. Don't come down, Barry. Don't do it. Don't force your way down. He thought about it. He really wanted to do it. I think luckily he realized, hey, this is probably not the time to go down and, chop somebody's nose off. Yeah, good job not chopping his nose off, man. That was almost horrible. See, Barry will work back down to the bottom. LaPrat's trying to get one of his laps back. His first car a lap down. Yisprand has just frozen on the overlay. So let me refresh that overlay because it still shows him 2.25 seconds behind. Evidently, that's not correct, though. There, it shows him out. See, we are past halfway. 42 laps done of 75. They're coming with 33 to go. We'll do 1 lap on board with 2 drivers of each class. So we'll start with a random next-gen. Well, not really a random next-gen driver because, of course, they're up here. But I won't choose, evident ones for sure. I'll switch it around. See that? You can definitely hear kind of the different, just, I guess, hums of the engine. I feel like the hair in my mouth. The Xfinity definitely has a little bit more just tone to it than anything else. Everything else is kind of flat. You can hear how they were lifting though when they're not lined up, as the second group has just blown everything that they gained up there. Whew. This group needs to get lined up again because they're a second off the pace. They're way off pace. And then this is just these guys battling each other like this. They just need to figure out a way to get lined up and make it up there. But I think that, I mean, we could see classes stick together, but I think that, yeah, they're kind of out. Hold on, I got a phone call here in action. I'll have to take this later. Everybody's trying to call me, and I had to tell them I'm doing a broadcast right now, so I can't answer the phone. Nelson's gonna try. I mean, go for it now, man. I think he may be a little bit too late to start shoving as much as he could. It's 35 and the 196. They picked up. Actually, they were off the pace. 2 seconds off the pace now. There's 24 laps to go. I'll keep up the lap times. You can see it on the left side. 50 to 52 is what they ran. That is way off. Chavez and LaPrat are down pit road. Those guys are not contention, though, for this. And it's gotten pretty spaced out. And everybody's just riding around the bottom. Yeah, I don't think they'll be able to catch them. They're going to need a caution here. You're way off the pace. Basically going to be these front six that will be in contention here. And the question is, do they gang up on each other class-wise, or do they decide to just run it like normal? That looks like we're gonna have. Actually, they're gonna have more pit stops here. Did not think they'd have to pit, so I don't think there's a difference in fuel either. Okay, nope, they're gonna have to pit again. I thought they'd make it to the end, but this should get them to the end though. They should not have to pit after this. And did Tef get past getting on pit road? He did. Tef lost the lead getting on pit road. I'll leave Biddy out. Biddy will inherit the lead. You see where Tef and these other guys join in. Tef will join. I think they'll join in front of Sizemore. Yeah, easily. Sizemore and Roth are only, they're only 2 trucks, and they got to make up 6 seconds here. Their pit stops were relatively competitive, about 3/10 slower, but they're actually faster on pit lane. But yeah, that's just, they might catch him here. Hold on. No, they're not going to. No, actually they might. They're still going 10 miles an hour faster. Nope, they've actually canceled it out now. I don't know, actually. I'm debating. They're 187 to 181. They've still got some pace on them. In truth, he's actually still in the race here. But he's multiple laps down. He's kind of falling back, so they're going to be catching the draft of him. But I don't know if they will be able to catch them. I don't think they will. No, they won't be able to. So it'll leave Troy and Teft, and Roth will try to catch them up here. Only issue is Sizemore has no help. Biddy's not going to help him at all. So it's really his front 2 for a battle here. Who does Tef decide to go with? Okay. These guys will not be able to catch him unless this group behind him catches him. Nah, it's going to be Troy and Andrew here at this point. Kind of gotten weird now. Really only 2 cars that have a chance at the win. I don't think we've seen anything like this for a while. Gotten odd now. Really slowed down overall in terms of action. Not been a bad thing though. But it will be 16 to go when they get to the line. Castle's down pit road. Yeah, now they've gotten, that pit stop did something to him. It really spaced him out. So now that the trucks and everybody else is actually separated by class, the trucks are 2 seconds off pace from the next gens. Xfinities are about a second faster than the trucks. they're catching Roth and Sizemore, so there is definitely a difference once these guys get out in clean air between the vehicles. As we got a caution here, and it says Chavez has crashed. Okay. I have no idea what that was. That does not make any sense at all. Why did he stop? That is so confusing to me why he did that. I don't understand that at all. To be honest with you. I don't know why he did that. I really don't know. Chavez is down pit road. I don't know if he got a penalty for that. He probably did get a penalty. I don't know. I'm not gonna say he did it on on purpose, but we'll bring Troy down pit road. I'm surprised he's not gonna stay out here. Kind of a little bit of a split decision. Troy came back down. Curtis comes back down. I don't know if I would have. I don't know if I would have done that. I would have stayed out. I think you know that you have fuel to the end, so you don't need to come down pit road. It's still a odd thing to do. I don't know why he did that. It's just weird. It's just really, really weird. I don't know why he did that. But before these guys go back green, I will go on mute here, but I will be back here before these guys take the green flag. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday, and right now you can save 50 pounds. I messed that up. Great. I was going to make that a good meme, but 50 pounds. Good English, me. That's my slur from many, many years ago. I used to slur a lot when I was a little kid. Not what you think, how I would talk. I would slur my words a lot, but it was going to be a good meme, but I messed it up. Good job, me. But pace car does pull in here. Teft and Roth will lead them back to green. Will be 11 laps to go here. As the green flag is back in the air, we are back underway. Yeah, next gens definitely have a way faster get-off speed, for sure. There's no doubt about that. Saw that twice now, for sure. Just being proved on restarts. Oh my god. I hate the internet. This changes the game. Those resets a lot of people, puts a lot of people back in contention. Some are stuck a lap down. Others have gotten the wave around, but Tef will continue to lead. He's got two next gens behind him, and a truck, next gen truck, and next gen. So it's going to be interesting looking at this, how it works out in the end for him. See if these trucks gang up on the next gens, or if these Xfinity cars gang up, even though there's really only two. I think the next gens have the advantage here in that category. They have formed a little bit of an upper lane here with 9 to go. Expect a lot more action with 5 left. You get to 5 to go, that's when I think everything is just basically thrown out the window. See, that truck of Roth is getting close. Doing a good job. Got the 3 of Troy behind him, giving him a little bit of help. These Jackson Troys have fallen out of that now, so throw that out of the window. See that having an Xfinity car trying to make a run up here now. See what he does. A little bit of side draft there. That was almost too close. Biddy got way close there. I think that's what he's going to have to do to break up these next gens on the bottom. He's going to have to side draft as hard as he can just to get a good run, because he just can't get one that he needs. So if he's able to do that, gets a good run in the front stretch here. See what he's able to do. He's broken even with the 4th next gen in line. Never mind. That goes out the window. The 8 will hop to the outside. I think that's a bad mistake from him. That I would have stayed in line. He's still trying to side draft him, and the whole issue with side drafting is you don't want to get way too close and have netcode happen. And that's really when, you know, somebody just gets close and iRacing thinks they're going to make contact, and you know, they end up not making contact with them. That happens all the time. Only 5 to go. Got 27's taking a peek to the outside. He's gotten moved down a little bit by the 35. Still trying to keep it as low as he can. That 35 needs to find a way. These guys need to stop battling each other if they want a chance to even, you know, just make a run. They need to line up. They need to make one line and just start shoving as hard as they can. As that middle lane has got something going here. You see Nelson hop up front. Tef will go up to the middle lane also to block for just a little bit. Nelson's going to go back down to the bottom. Have to see, can these guys break the gridlock that they have? That Xfinity car 35 has gotten a shove here by the 08. See what he can do. He's got something going. They just need more people in line with them. I think they can take down these next gens if they can just get a good enough of a run. But these next gens are so lined up on the bottom, 4 deep. And Troy's going to try to spoil this party by himself. He's going to slow down this truck on the outside by hopping up there. It's going to hurt him even more. As it is 2 to go here at Dega. Can 35 mount a run in time? He had a run going, then it's stalled out. He needs this truck behind him to start pushing as hard as he can. It's all going to rely on him. So it'll be 1 to go here as they come out of 4. What can they do now as Nelson will go up high, trying to make a move. So he has a 35 on his bump. The 35 will shove Nelson out of the way. Curtis to the lead now. As they are just jockeying for position. They have crammed each other. Oh my gosh, I don't know how Nelson did not clip the 55, but the 35 of Curtis is all the way up front now. Here comes the 08 of Sizemore. Sizemore trying to make a run down the backstretch. He's got the 57. What does Nelson do? Does Nelson make it 3 wide? He may be doing that. Let's just see what he does. As they're going to wreck behind, they're going to keep it straight, though. Curtis coming out of 4. Sizemore Up high. Got a truck shoving him. Curtis has a next-gen shoving, but the trucks are showing their power here. Can Teth give Curtis a shove to the tribal? It doesn't look like he will, and it will be Sizemore in the truck that will take home the win here. He'll win his class and the race. Curtis will win his class, and Nelson will win his class. But Sizemore steals it there at the end after the trucks really weren't anywhere the whole entire race. Like Sizemore will just pull off the track. We'll pull up the finishing order here. Bring in the top 3 from the class. It will be Sizemore. Oh, that's qualifying, sorry. Is this sorted by color here? Let's see. It does not. So we'll bring in Sizemore, Nelson, or Sizemore, Curtis, and then Nelson. Hey, Steve, this is Bryce in the booth. Got a copy, man?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, so you take it home there. You beat the Next Gens and the Xfinities. You know, how was the race for overall, though? Because it seemed like the trucks kind of struggled overall just on top-end speed.
Yeah, it felt like when the next gens would pull out, that really brought the trucks alive, and then when they pulled back down, it felt like we'd lose a little. I definitely didn't expect to get them there at the end, but that 57 truck gave me a hell of a push at the end there.
And, you know, so how? I mean, you noticed it with the Next Gens, but did you notice anything? You know, when the Xfinities would hop in front of you that you would lose speed, or was it kind of pretty much the same?
It felt like the Xfinity cars were at a disadvantage. So yeah, it felt like when I was next to them, it just kind of pulled us back.
It was kind of weird watching because it felt like just watching the Next Gens on restarts definitely had the benefit. I think that's really just because the wider tires, but it seemed like, I mean, I think the trucks actually had the most horsepower of all the cars out there, but they weigh the most. So I wasn't surprised, you know, when you run on your own, especially in a straight line, you're going to pick up speed, but I didn't really know how these cars would handle it. You know, do you think that it kind of changed how people would shove? Because I know the trucks run that flat nose template that then the Xfinity and the Next Gens have a little bit of a pointed nose with the Chevys and the Toyotas a little bit.
Yeah, I would definitely being careful because I didn't know how the bumpers were going to line up, you know, being different models. But when I was pushing the Next Gen, I was wide open. I never let off of it, and they handled it just fine. The Xfinity seemed to get a little wobbly like they do normally. But yeah, that was a fun race. That was interesting. I'd never done anything like that before.
Yeah, I hadn't seen, you know, it was way back. This was 2022 was the last time iRacing did this. That was actually sanctioned. I know it was before they rolled out the Next Gens. It was the Next Gens, Xfinity, and the trucks. And the Next Gens were so slow, you had like the trucks blowing by us at the iRacing Super Speedway at like 220, while the Next Gens were like going 170. So it's been a while since I've seen these vehicles mixed together. But, you know, what was going through your head, you know, really the last lap, especially coming out of 4, because y'all tried to mount a run forever, and then you finally were able to mount one, and then, of course, you take home the win.
Yeah, I was just, be honest with you, man, I was just trying to hold my line, and it seems like that one guy got up a little high, and I was able to split him, and then I think it was 57 just pushed me all the way home, and then right there at the end, I just kind of cut down in front of, I think it was Andrew, just kind of break his momentum a little bit, and brought home the win. That was awesome. That was fun.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
I got quite a few family members and friends that have been watching. So thanks for watching, and Andrew for putting it on, and you guys for broadcasting, man. Appreciate it. And I'll be doing it again tomorrow night in the Truck Series.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good job coming home with the win tonight, man.
All right, I appreciate it.
Steve Sizemore, the race winner and the winner of his class, will bring in the second place, or the second, sorry, the winner in his class in Judson Curtis. Hey, Judson, this is Bryce in the booth. Got a copy, man?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
Man, so you fall just a little bit short there at the end, but how did the race go for you overall, though? Because it seemed like the next gens and the Xfinity were pretty closely matched as once they got going.
I felt like they were good once they got going, but I could not get the pushing down with the next gens. I felt more comfortable around the trucks for sure.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of that is, the next gens have that rack and pinion steering, so it's a lot sensitive and it's a lot lighter too. I've noticed that when I drove the Xfinities at Darlington one point, I was like, God, this is heavy steering, and it literally is a workout driving those cars because you can actually feel the front end and the Xfinities, and the next gens you can't. So I wouldn't be surprised, when you were shoving them that the front end was trying to take off. But what did you notice from just racing around them, like drafting wise, like who was better drafting, who could get runs, who struggled in certain areas?
Well, I tell you, it's been a while since I raced over here in the Races Elite League, but I was kind of just going on car colors, man. I couldn't figure out who was who. Um, the draft, I couldn't really figure out the draft. It was like the trucks would. I feel like the trucks would pull out of line and get that outside line going. I don't know. The draft was just really weird with all the cars mixed up involved, and I couldn't figure it out, to be honest with you. I just tried to keep the car clean, keep the nose clean. I went through I mowed the grass there in the infield, and the lawn maintenance gonna be mad at me, but I just try to keep it clean, man, and just understand the draft.
And so what was going through your head, the last lap, especially that last corner, knowing that you had a chance, and then it seems just like the trucks just hooked up there at the end after they had time to get back together.
Yes, sir. I think I was on the outside lane there, and that 196 popped out, and I was planning on staying behind him and just kind of pushing him to the win there, but well, I gave him a shot, and it bounced him up there into the right lane, and I did not mean to give him that hard of a shot, but I didn't want to be out front there on the last lap, but I knew I was in trouble, and we were just kind of holding on to it. I'm trying to stay above that black car. I think it was number 2 down there, and just want to beat him.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Louisiana Hot Sauce, man. We always keep it in the house. They always support me. Always let me run the paint scheme, and they're just a good company. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. Good job coming home second tonight overall, but first in your class.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me. Good race.
When I said second overall, I meant, ranking wise. Not by this. This doesn't mean anything. But we'll bring in the third driver who won his class, and that will be Dwayne Dave, or who is that? We got Sizemore, Judson. Sorry, Sizemore, Curtis, and then Nelson. That's who it is. Hey Barry, this is Bryce in the booth. Got a copy, man?
Yes, sir.
Man, so you win your class. How was the race overall? Because it seemed like that was pretty interesting, just watching it. With the different drafting that these three vehicles have.
Yeah, I was having trouble trying to figure out, which classes drafted together the best. I felt like I could push anybody, but if I had two of them in front of me, I was 50% throttle because they were just, they couldn't do it. Like they didn't draft together with me behind them. I felt like I was real good in front of a pack.
Yeah, so did you notice really anything? I noticed this on restarts. You all got way better restarts than the Xfinity and the trucks. Did you notice that? Because it seemed like you all were able to gap yourselves immediately from that.
Yeah, I felt like we pulled away from the Xfinity pretty good. The trucks, they kind of hung tight there for a minute. But one middle of the backstretch, if there was two or three of us next gens together, we could just pack up and walk off from them for a minute, but and in the end, it kind of all equaled out. Like, I was surprised there towards the end that them cars got as good as runs they did on the outside. I tried to jump up there on that last lap to help lead that front line, and we just didn't match up, and it just kind of shot me to the right. Just fell back in line and pushed it with everything I had.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's just at the end of the races, you're like, what in the world just happened there? But what was Well, you kind of touched on it, but really, what was going through your head, really, that final corner? Because I was expecting a whole wreck there to happen, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was expecting, what they call it, the big one. I was, coming off of going into 3 and 4. I was expecting, this ain't gonna work. I had a plan when we was 3 next gens in a line, Andrew, me, then Brett. I told Brett I was gonna kind of fall back off of Andrew just a little bit, try to get a run to, try to pass him. But man, that outside line come around, and I was like, well, that plan's gone. And when I jumped up there and he kind of shot me off to the right, I just knew that we was gonna wad them all up.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
I mean, Jason and Blake, if they watching, I just really want to thank Andrew for this league. This is like 3 or 4 months on the iRacing. We race in real life, and it's a whole different learning curve, trying to figure this stuff out. But I really do appreciate Andrew for this league.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. Good job coming on with your class win.
All right, thank you.
That was Barry Nelson, the winner of his class. Nope. Meant to disconnect him. So really, Sizemore wins the race overall, wins his class and the trucks, and wins the race, which is kind of surprising to me. I didn't expect the truck to win it. I really thought a next gen would take it home. Second will be Judson Curtis, who won his class, and then third will be Barry Nelson, who won his class. But first two were actually trucks in this race. The third was a Xfinity car, but not a bad race overall. Again, it had been forever since I saw this happen. iRacing did this years ago, but I'm not going to keep y'all here any longer.